it's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Today I'm sharing my audio replay from my teleclass on 3 ways to gain exposure for your web business. I definitely hope you enjoy what I've got to say because I think it's safe to say we all know you need people. You need people to look at the website and click those links before you actually make that profit. So, understanding what you need to do to drive traffic and gain more exposure is really vital to building a successful and thriving business online. And of course, if you haven't already done so, go to join.sistersense.com where you can sign up to my 12-month training on pretty much everything you need to know as far as building your web business and making sense of making money online. So, listen to the replay today. Definitely enjoy and take note of what I've got to share. And of course, join us for my weekly sessions. This Jumpstart Your Business teleclass is happening every week for as long as I can commit to doing it. So join us at join.sistersense.com to partake in the live sessions as well as the trainings that I have on the site. So, all right, let's get started with the replay. Okay, wonderful. Ladies, I'm so happy to have you guys here tonight. It is 7:59 and just about time for me to get started with tonight's teleclass. Eventually, I'm going to just mute everybody. But before I do, if you are on the line, I know Laura's here. Welcome. Just let me know. Say who you are and where you're from.
This is Jennifer from Michigan.
Florida. Michigan. Okay, wait, I heard two people at one time. Say that again.
Okay, this is Shirley Bailey from Tampa, Florida. I'm a guest of Terry Glasgow.
Great. Hey, Shirley.
Hi.
And this is Jennifer Card from Michigan.
Michigan, wonderful. Jennifer, what's your website?
It's queenstiletto.com.
Awesome. If you guys could share your websites, too, that would be wonderful. Anyone else? I know y'all are trying not to say the talk together at the same time. It's fine. But if anyone else wants to introduce themselves before we get started, definitely feel free to do so.
Hello, this is Paula out of New York.
Hey, Paula, how's New York tonight?
Raining, storming.
Oh, no, I miss my New York. Oh.
Yeah, it hasn't been too good here today, a very gray day.
Oh, it's all right.
Hi, this is Angela. Hello.
Hey, Angela. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Tell me what your website is.
My website is ladyandbalance.com and bettersweetbooks.com. You just did it.
Bettersweet. I did the landing page. Yay. I have to talk to you about that, too, so we can make sure we fix the comment box.
Okay.
But good. I'm so glad to have you on the call, Angela.
I'm glad to be on the call.
Okay, one more person before I officially hit mute. Anyone else want to say hi?
Hi, this is Dee Edwards from Atlanta, Georgia. My website is missbsquare.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay.
Hello, Sandra.
Yes.
May I ask one question? I don't have my own business per se, but I'm working with Avon.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to build an online presence. Do I qualify for this telephone conference?
Absolutely. You get to listen to everything I have to say, and if you've got questions, definitely hold them to the end of the call, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to hit mute, but y'all, if you don't hear me, just tweet me at Sister Sense and say, LaShanda, I don't hear anything. What happened? So I just want to make sure that there's no backseat, so I'm just going to hit mute and see what happens. Okay, wonderful. So supposedly you guys are all muted, and if you want to unmute yourself and just say, can you say that again or something, you can *6 to unmute yourself. Of course, you can also tweet me at Sister Sense. I will follow along with your tweets as well. So, again, I'm just really excited that you guys follow my impromptu bud because sometimes I'm just like, look, I need to have a call today. So I'll just shoot you guys an email or a tweet or something on Facebook. But really, I was inspired to do the call today because last weekend I sent out an email to pretty much my Power Circle list, the community of Sister Sense, and I said, I can't help you. And folks were like, what? What do you mean you can't help me? I need you. And really, you want to have those leading emails so that people get excited about opening them. I didn't want people to freak out, but they did. But really, the essence of the email was this. I cannot really help you if I don't know exactly what you need. So I'm sending out videos, I'm doing audios, I'm doing blog posts, I'm kind of information overloading you, but nothing's really going to help you unless you say, okay, LaShanda, this is what I'm working on, this is the question I have, this is what I'm trying to do. And essentially in that email, my goal was to get you all to kind of reconnect with me and communicate. I say, first and foremost, thank you to those of you who have responded thus far with your questions. You all essentially inspired me to say, okay, it's not enough to send out another email or do another how-to video. I need to get on the call to really kind of clear some things up and help you as far as not just your business, but navigating the world that Sister Sense has become, because there's just so much information on that space. So we already said our, who's on the call, and so glad to have you here. I essentially want to start off by talking about the three different types of categories of entrepreneurs that I'm going to be talking to today. One, if you're in the startup process, and it's wonderful. I got that question about Avon. There are three categories of entrepreneurs. You're either in the startup, jumpstart, or restart your business. And so essentially, if you're just trying to figure out what to do first, what you should be doing because you started already, but you need to move things along, get some momentum, or you need to breathe life back into it and restart again. I'm going to be talking about these three categories essentially in our discussion today. Now, I'm trying to, because like I said, Sister Sense's information overload, I'm trying my best to really keep it simple and give you one suggestion per category, because I want you to walk away from this call knowing that there is only one thing that LaShanda told you to focus on depending on your category. So again, think about whether you're in the startup, jumpstart, or restart phase, that being the first thing. But I don't want you to feel like everything I say today you have to go and do right now. I want you to start with one thing, okay? Now, you remember back in the day when they said all you need to do is get a diploma and you're good. You get a job. Then it became, okay, well, you don't just need a diploma. You need to get some sort of associate's degree. You need to get a bachelor's degree. You get a job. Then it was like, oh, hold up now. You need to get a master's. You need to go back to school. It's like we're going to be like 90 in school because all of the different things as far as technology and the service industry and just the way the world is changing, we're constantly having to educate ourselves. And the web is no different. Back in the day, they used to say, okay, wow, we've got this thing called the World Wide Web. All you need for your business is a website. That's not the case anymore. If you really want exposure, you've got to do more than just simply put up a website, right? It's got to have a lot more than that. So the first group I'm going to be talking with, obviously, is the startup group. And this one in particular is inspired by Laura because, we're just beginning our conversation, our relationship together, and me starting to work on your website as far as not simply putting together the vision of what the website is going to be, but we're building on WordPress. What does that look like? What are the other components once it's pretty and it's done that you need to do to make sure that you're getting the most exposure you can for your business? Now, I say that before I go any further to say your blog has to be today a branded media portal, okay? It is not sufficient for you to have a website with some text and some pictures. It has to be a branded media portal. What does that mean? That means you need to have a blog that everybody tells you need to have, but not just that. I'm not here to tell you need to just have a blog. I'm here to tell you that you need to have a blog with a solid video and audio component attached to it, because things are different today, okay? It's not just about some text and some journals and things like that. You need a branded media portal with a solid audio and video content strategy in that mix, okay? So, a few questions that you need to answer. I can't answer it because I don't know everybody on the call. One, do you have a blog? Hopefully the answer that everyone says is a resounding yes. Two, do you know how to add content to that blog? Because I've put up quite a few blogs in my day, and some of them are still empty, unfortunately, because they were so excited about putting up the website, and it's there, but the content is still hard. They don't know how to blog yet. They don't even know how to hit post. And I'm not saying that to call anybody out, but the reality is this: you can't not blog, all right? So if you're still going, I don't know what to do, you're like years behind as far as what you should be doing to build your business and your exposure. So I want you to think about that. Not only do you have a blog, but do you know how to add content to that blog? Not just text content. Do you know how to add audio to your blog? And do you know how to add video to your blog? Okay? So having that space, having the content there textual-wise, but also being able to add audio and video. Now, if you cannot comfortably write a blog post at the very least, that's a problem. So what I did for Laura, like I said, we're working on her website, is today I went on my site, Sister Sense, and I said, okay, I'm going to put together just a short list of some of the how-to articles that I have on blogging for beginners. It's right there on sistersense.com, 7 steps for beginner bloggers. How to write your first post, literally what you need to click on to hit post, to put in the text, the links, to put in the photos, that starter stuff that's really important to know, okay? Then, in addition to that, how to start adding audio. If you want to do some podcasting so that you can have your own space, not just something that's on Blog Talk Radio, and it's great to have something there, but you need to have something on your site because you need to, again, build your own branded media portal. So you need to know how to record your audios and upload them to your site. Can you do that, and can you do the same for video? If you cannot, like I said, go to that post. I show you how to do it. You can look at the videos. It's a point, click here or there. Now, if you look at the videos and you go, LaShanda, I still don't know how to do this crap. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Some people are just not technically inclined. And so then you know you need to find somebody to pay you you can pay to do that stuff for you. But whether you pay somebody to do it or do it for yourself, I started off on a floss budget, not a shoestring. It was a piece of floss, okay? So I had to learn to do all of this stuff for myself. If you are in that boat, you got to do it, love it or hate it. If not, you pay somebody else to do it. I do people's newsletters. I do their video campaigns. That's what I do as a designer. You find somebody who you can pay to do it if it's in your budget. But if it's not, you got to start. So this weekend, no more excuses. No more I'm going to get on top of that. If you're going to start your business, you have to be serious about building that blog, media, audio, video component. Because I'm going to tell you right now why you do this. Your competitors are doing it. Now, every year I do my Power Circle audios, and last year I did my first Power Circle conference in January. The next one is 2014 in January. And I got all my bags and my lovely promotional stuff from this website that you can check out. It's called discountmugs.com. You can take your logos and your brands, and you can print them on just about anything. It's wonderful. Now, when you go online and you look for promotional cups and T-shirts and pens, there are thousands of websites that come up. Discount Mugs does a great job in that they're on the first page of Google. You know, they've got really quality page rank. Search engine optimization is a whole other story. But one of the key components about that, if you go to their website, don't just look at it to go, oh, LaShanda uses them, start using them. But look at it to be strategic about how they are successfully selling their product and how you can do the same. One of the things that they have, and Laura, I know I'm going to keep talking to you directly in this conversation, specifically about the website you showed me and the components you liked on that particular service professional site. One of the things that they have on Discount Mugs is a video for every single product, every pen, every cup, every folder, every USB drive. There's a video that goes along with it so you can actually see the product before you bought it. it was a no-brainer for me. I didn't have to sift through thousands of sites because I went to the one that was branded media rich. In particular, I got to a point, us ladies, we go, should we get the blue one or the pink one? Should it be the blue one or the pink one? And then, of course, actually, I was at the store yesterday and I was looking at some shoes and I was like, Jay, should I get the gray or the black? The gray or the black? And he gave me that look like, do I care? Your hubby is like, seriously, let's go. But I was in one of those moments at Discount Mugs looking at two bags. And then I said, you know what, let me just watch the video. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, my God, this bag is huge. I know I'm putting in a whole bunch of stuff for my, my people at this power conference, but that one is just way too huge. Had I not watched the video, I wouldn't have known that. And that's the kind of world that we live in now. People are not simply going to the store to touch it, smell it, look at it. They're shopping online, and they need to be able to see that video. If you're a service professional, and they need to be able to see you before they go and hit that buy now button, okay? So I'm not telling you this because everybody tells you about blogging. Right now, blogging is not enough. If you want valid exposure that translates into sales, you've got to step it up and do audio, and then step it up even more and do video. Like I said on Sister Sense, the tutorials are there, and the first, I would say, 7 that I would really recommend for those starting up and really don't know what to do as far as blogging is concerned are in that post, 7 steps for beginner bloggers. Now, that's essentially the first thing I want you to do. Prioritize learning this stuff or paying somebody else to do it, okay? Now, profit and progress comes when you put in the work, okay? So what I've done here is I've committed myself on Sister Sense to putting in the work as far as creating all of this information. Every time I learn something, I'm like, okay, this is what you do, because I want you to know what I know so you can do it for yourself. But like I said, in getting feedback from people, I realized that it's not simply just about me showing you how to do it via the videos and the how-tos. You want to talk to me as well and get a more one-on-one feel. So I've committed myself now to starting to do these Jumpstart Your Business videos once a week. This is the first one that I'm doing, and I'm going to continue this process on Sister Sense. So I just want you to get a heads up and a feel of what that's going to be like. Because I feel like it's going to really kind of help more of you, and it's going to help me too because, like I said, I can't help you if I don't know what you need. So for my startup sisters, you know now that this weekend you need to jump on it. You need to figure out what you need to do to figure out how to create those new posts, put in that audio and that video, and make it work. If you've got questions about the specifics of that, I'm here. But you got to start somewhere, okay? So number 2, you're in that startup phase. Now I'm in that jumpstart category. You've got that business already. Maybe you've got a blog, you've got products, and you need to figure out, okay, what needs to happen now? Now, on the topic of exposure, like I said, I'm going to give you one thing to do. There's so many things to do to drive traffic to your business online. I just want to give you one thing to do that you can really get done and then come back and say, LaShanda, I did it. Yay! I'm silly. I'm so silly. But okay, here's the deal. I want you to prioritize writing an amazing article in relation to your business. Now, some people might get the funky face because they don't like to write. Now, if you don't like to write, I'm sorry to tell you, this is the world we live in. We live in a web world. Folks don't even know how to use the phone anymore. All they do is text. We live in a web text world, so you're going to have to write something. But not just write something, I need it to be amazing. Now, I say that because people have spent the last, I want to say, 2-3 years when they talk about, oh, my God, you know what you need? You need a blog, and you use the blog, and you drive traffic. 90% of the people who hear that, because I work with a lot of them as a web designer, they start writing things and going, okay, well, I'm just going to write these 3 articles and throw it up there because I know I got to write something. And then they come back and no surprise, they go, well, how come nobody's coming to my site? Because it's not amazing, because you clearly just threw up some stuff. And just because you put up some stuff don't mean that it's worth reading. It doesn't mean that it's going to give you the kind of visibility that you want. So before you try and get on Oprah, or talk to Steve Harvey, I want you to write an amazing article in relation to your business. Now, let me give you some specifics on that as far as this article is concerned. One, it can be authentic and personal. I've had quite a few clients. One of my, I wouldn't say more recent, I think maybe about 3-4 months ago, one of my clients, she's got a web e-commerce business. Now, sometimes I design sites from scratch. In her case, she got to fix my site package, and I kind of updated the space that she had. And so in that conversation of updating her website, she says, LaShanda, do you recommend anything that I can do because I'm trying to figure out how to gain some traffic for my website? I got into selling wigs because I suffered from hair loss, and it was really tragic for me, and I wanted to do something for other women like me. And I said to her, and I've actually had this conversation with another woman who had the same business a few years back. I said, well, a part of this process is you've got to tell people your story and let people know why you do what you do. In the last issue of Sister Sense magazine, every issue I have a Mom to Mompreneur article, and I talk about things from the perspective of being both a mom and a mompreneur. In that article, I talk about I prayed for patience and the process that it's been a journey finding out that my son, he suffers from dyslexia, and it's challenging, and learning how to work with him and learning how to learn again as a six-year-old. It's not cute. I went to college. Now I got to do 6-year-old stuff again. But in the process of trying to figure out how to best help him succeed academically, I don't just go online and search for dyslexia. I search for mom with 6-year-old boy who suffers with attention issues or has a difficulty with alphabet. I'm looking for people who have shared their stories, who can relate to me authentically and personally. That's what people look for when they go on Google. They tell Google things they don't even tell their mama, and I'm sure you do the same thing too. When you want to build exposure for yourself, you've got to think about, am I being authentic? Am I being personal? Am I creating stories and writing material that is reaching somebody in a way that's profound? If you're not, then that's a part of the process, okay? And this stuff has nothing to do with the techie stuff. Folks go, oh, my God, I'm so overwhelmed by the technical stuff. And then after they do like a clarity, I call my I don't do consultations. I call them clarity sessions. After I do my clarity sessions, they're like, oh, my God, LaShanda, I feel so much better. Because it's not about technology or HTML or any of that crap. It's about people and you doing things that are going to attract and relate to people. Yes, we do it on a technical space, but it all boils down to us being people. So either number one, create an amazing article that really you think about your business, what you do, make that article authentic and personal. Or think about something that you can write about that's gripping and controversial. Maybe you're going to want to write about something that everyone thinks, but nobody has the balls to say. You have the balls. You grow them balls, them cojones, and you write that article because sometimes those controversial pieces are the ones that really stand out. You can write about something that's timely relative to trending topics and what's really going on today, or write something that's highly informed or inspired. People love those. Informed, inspired, funny. Well, you know how we love funny. We'll spend all day on Facebook looking for funny, but really, when it comes to business, I focus on those things that are either inspirational or informational with respect to our audience. And as women entrepreneurs of color, I know we do a lot of research and we look a lot online because we like, look, I need to do this research so I can get this thing off the ground for solo. I don't really have a team. I got me. So Google he's our mama, our second cousin, our new teacher and professor. Google is deep, man. But the key here is that you have to figure out how to create one of these 4 personal, gripping, timely, highly informed or inspired, amazing articles that just wow people off the bat. Now, you might say to yourself, okay, great. An article, seriously, exposure? Yes, I'm going to tell you a story. I hope you have purchased the recent issue. I was about to say issue of Essence because I'm looking at the word essence here in my notes. The latest issue of Essence. On the last page is my girl, Jay Stone, the creator of Emotional Nudity, and she is featured talking about Mean Girls. Now, Jay is a Jackie of all, I wouldn't say all trades. She's really a highly experienced professional because she is originally the brand coach. I don't want to call her the brand coach. She's like, don't call me brand. I don't want to do branding anymore. But the girl put her foot in branding. She's worked with big companies like Coca-Cola. She knows how to brand and brand right. Okay, we met at Black Enterprise several years ago, and from then we were just thick as thieves. We really relate. Jay came out to one of my first conferences, She Rocks the Web, and I feel like time has gone by so fast. She came out to She Rocks the Web. We talked about her blogging projects, and she talked about the idea of creating emotionalnudity.com, this website where she keeps it real and raw and really just talks about her experiences, self-esteem, relationships, what it is to be an empowered woman, something that a lot of women need. And now, 6 months later, okay, 6 months, the idea of emotional nudity, the site wasn't even up yet. So the site is up, the articles, the content, the consistency. Jay has been on Huffington Post Live. She's been featured in MadameNoor.com. She was picked up as an Essence blogger. She is actually going to be on TD Jakes on BET this fall. And this is material from Emotional Nudity. She's talking about right now, she's got this thing called Got Edge, which you definitely need to check out, about the process of going from, the concept of emotional nudity to now. This comes with this comes with amazing content, okay? These articles have led to the experiences that she has, this credibility that has her talking to live on Huffington Post about self-esteem. You want to be that person, right? You want to be on CNN. You want to be talking to Oprah. She didn't beg for an interview. They found her because of the material that she wrote on her space. That's the world that we live in. And you have to write amazing articles if you want that to be you. I mean, I don't just look at it and go, well, she can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I mean, I've done that. I've been in Ebony. I've been in Essence. I've been on BlackEnterprise.com. I was on UNC TV, PBS here, all from my blog material, because that's what happens when you write amazing stuff. You get exposure. People are looking for people with great stories to tell, okay? So I'm telling you this. I don't want to plug me. I'm plugging Jay because she's done an amazing job these last 6 months. And if you're not subscribed to Emotional Nudity as a woman, I suggest you go check it out because, again, it's just a beautiful, wonderfully written site. And just sharing who she is and the experience she's gone through, with weight gain, self-esteem, relationships. God, relationships can be crazy. And if you do those things, if you talk about women's empowerment and you go, well, I mean, there's so many people doing that. How do I become that? She did it in 6 months with determination, creativity, and amazing content. You can too. It doesn't have to be that it's too late. It's not. But it's not going to start with you simply paying for ads or looking for somebody to find you. It's going to start with you writing amazing material. You can't do that if you don't know how to create a new post, all right? So that's the first part of the process. But that's definitely something you need to do. Now, of course, Jay is going to be talking at, I was about to say Blogalicious because that's one of my favorite conferences. She's going to be talking about at my conference, the Sister Sense Power Circle 2014, here in the Loft Hotel in North Carolina. So if you want information about that, let me know. But that's my January thing. That's my serious jumpstart the year thing, the Power Circle Conference. Now, on the flip side of something positive like Jay and her using content to gain all of this exposure that, again, helps her build her brand and her business online, you've got some crazy stuff like Miley Cyrus twerking on the VMAs. I know you've seen it. Don't say you didn't. I didn't want to see it. I saw it on YouTube, which is funny because I don't watch television. I only watch, guilty pleasure. I only watch Netflix and Hulu. I don't have time for television because I work so much. When I'm not working, I'm with my boys, my son, my hubby, that's it. Now, I'm on YouTube either creating content or working on videos for my clients, and I can't help but see it because YouTube is like trying to etch into my brain Miley Cyrus twerking every 2 seconds. Now, this is not positive media, but it's media, and millions of people are watching video every day, which, again, goes to show that you've got to be a part of that video creation process because that's just where we are. But love it or hate it, it's amazing, right? It's just amazing to see this child doing some crazy stuff, and it creates all of this buzz around it. So, am I telling you to go do a twerking video? Absolutely not. But I am saying that you got to step up that game, and it really starts with creating one solid post, really tapping into something. If you need to find somebody to help you do this, and it was never your thing, fine. But you've got to start somewhere, like I said. That's definitely something to do. Now, again, my goal here is to do these calls every week inside the Power Circle. And if you're not a part of the Power Circle, by the way, go to join.sistersense.com so you can sign up, watch the videos, but, of course, be a part of these weekly calls with me. And I'm going to commit to it for as long as I can so that I can really help you make the most out of this year and then continue to thrive in the months and years to come. So number 3, okay, because I said I'm just doing one. I could do like 50 for each of these, but I'm just doing one because I want you to feel like, again, you can walk away from the call with one thing that you can say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start here, okay? So we talked about the startup, the jump start. Let's talk about the restart business, okay? Whether it's something that it's old and you want to breathe some new life into it, or you stop doing it and you want to restart and do it again, this is what I recommend to you, okay? I want you to start by selecting one offer within your business, okay? And I want you to put all your energy, at least 2 weeks, ideally a month, to really say you committed to one thing, into pushing that one particular offering. Now, let me say 2 things about that before I go any further. Because we live in this world where people are just kind of constantly throwing stuff at us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and we're doing the same thing. Especially when you start up, you kind of get into the space where you feel like you've got to give them everything all at the same time. The most effective way to reach people is when you give them one specific thing. Like when I talked about my experiences and when I'm doing research to figure out how to help my son, I'm looking for very, very specific things. I'm not looking for general topics. And today could be looking for, how do I teach him to phonetically sound out 3-letter words? Like, very specific. So you want to not look at your whole business, because that's the other side of the story. Okay, go to www.myboutique.com and no. Pick one offering that you want to highlight and focus on sharing. Use that as your, I want to build exposure. I want to push that thing, that one thing. Okay? Before I go any further, if you got a smartphone, if you can look at it, and I'm going to just kind of take 2 seconds for you guys to do this kind of over-the-phone activity with me. I've done it at She Rocks the Web, and folks go, what is she doing? She crazy. I'm like, okay, get your smartphone and look at your news feed. If you don't do Facebook no more, because I know a bunch of y'all don't do Facebook. I don't do Facebook. I do Google Plus, girl. You old. Go on Google Plus, look at your feed, and the first thing that catches your eye, I want you to stop. Okay? I want you to stop. Now, whatever that thing is that you stopped at, if you're done, maybe it takes you a few seconds to go get your phone or your iPad or whatever and check out Facebook. Whatever it is, that thing, that post, that recent comment that you stopped at, I want you to think about why you stopped at it for a second. And you may not know why. Why did I stop here? I don't know. Because we get so much information all the time, we don't realize how quickly we discard. And there are thousands of people in our feed every hour. But, we don't go through all of that. There are certain things we go through, and most of it is just white noise. But why do you stop at the things you stop at? That's what I think about, because in order for me to get exposure and turn clicks into cash, I got to know how to get people to stop on me.
And that's what you need to do. So I'm having you do this because essentially I want you to think about what you're looking at right now, if you're actually doing this activity or you're just kind of like, this girl is crazy. But if you're actually following and you're doing the activity, wherever you stop, more than likely, it's because you saw a familiar face. And you're like, oh, what's that girl up to? I haven't seen her in a while. Or you saw something and you turned your head and you were like, what the hell is that person doing? Like, it was something weird or freaky. It caught your attention because it just was abnormal. Or it was something that was absolutely funny or cute, but it was relatable. It stopped you for a reason. It incited some kind of emotion in you for a reason, because it was not general, because it was very specific. And when I talk about marketing, it's not simply about saying, hey guys, I've got a new site. It's called da 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 da. I definitely want you to go check it out. No, that doesn't do it. That does not do it at all. What does it is when I go, hey, I just wrote an article about how to work with women who you want to work with, but they say they can't afford to pay you. And then folks go, oh, my God, that is so me. I want to read that article because these women don't want to pay me and I want to know what to do. You have to focus on sharing a specific thing to get people's attention, okay? Because when you're browsing and you are your customers, you only stop on those things that really incite some sort of noticeable emotion in you. They do the same thing, okay? So what we do as business owners is we put that marketing hat on when we can't afford to, pay for a marketer. We put that marketing hat on and we learn how to do this stuff for ourselves. And part of the process is you have to learn how to engage people to get that exposure. So let me give you a wonderful example of this. On Google Plus one day, I was just kind of quickly going through my feed and stopped at this amazing Polaroid camera. I just love Polaroids, and I don't know why I'm going to go buy that camera, but it's just cool. I'm a geek. So anyway, I stop on that post, and then I go and click on the profile, and it's called She Finds. I don't know if you follow them on Google Plus, but it's got fashion and all things weird and interesting for women that we just kind of check out and we want to buy or this or that. And so I started following them, and like every day they send me all this cool stuff that I just have to see. But in order for them to build exposure, they have to do that. They have to create these, or I shouldn't even say create because they don't create Polaroids, but they have to find these amazing photos of fashion and technology and everything women that would engage their audience to share it, like it, and love it, for other people like me to share it and then like it and love it. And now maybe some of you might go, what She Finds, and then check them out on Google Plus, and they got more followers. That's the part of the process. That's how social media works. But it only works when you, again, create those kind of lasting impressions. For it not to be overwhelming, because I am an information overload woman. I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying today to say this. Start with one great offer, and if it's one way to 101 ways of trying to find a way to push that one thing, that's what you've got to do. It's a training exercise because it shows you that it gives you an opportunity to really target your skills on selling one thing. Your business name is too general, and people aren't looking for your business name. They're looking for specific issues, concerns, desires. You got to go with those, okay? So if you are a beauty boutique and you sell 1,500 different things, maybe now that it's still hot. Lord, it's still hot. But when it gets cold and folks get ashy and they want some shea butter, then you want to focus on that, right? So think about those things in relation to your audience, what you can do to engage them. And I'll talk more about that later. But I'm talking about ashy folks. I need to change the subject at this point. But okay, at this point, here are the big ideas. Number one, if you're in startup mode and you don't know how to create a blog, audio, or video post, you are years behind, light years behind. And I get sad about this because, we talk about the digital divide, specifically African Americans and what we do versus what they do. I was just on YouTube, and they've got something called Google Glass. If you have not seen it, YouTube it. You basically tell it, Google, take a picture, or Google video, and it videos the thing in your eyeball. Like, serious, it's a little glass, like not even a pair of glasses. You just have to see it. But using this technology, you tell it to take a photo or do video. Technology has gone so far that to say in this day that you're struggling with these concepts that are almost, if not impossible to build a business without, it's doing an injustice to yourself. And so to realistically move forward, I want you to be able to, at the very beginning, have those fundamentals of blogging, media, and audio down. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, that viral marketing, or even that point where you get people to come to you. I want to say a couple of weeks ago, I had the Tom Joyner Show contact me about being on the show from some material that I've created. And again, I know a lot of people who are like me who get these opportunities. We don't go searching for them. They come to us. And in order for you to do that, you've got to have these spaces. So I want you to start with that amazing post, which is to help you jumpstart that exposure for yourself. And then number three, being in a position to focus on one offering. If you're in the restart stage, you already have a business, you already have products and services, you already have material. Don't try to sell everybody on everything and try to figure out, well, how do I get visibility for the brand itself? No, focus on one particular product and service and really map out, like, how many ways can I promote this one thing? You know, how many different venues? You can come to me and work with me, and I can give you 101. But the idea is focus on one thing. And I can say something else to that point as well. We do a lot, and one of our challenges as multi-talented women entrepreneurs is brand confusion. When folks go, wow, she's amazing, but I really don't get what she's selling because she sells so much. So I even personally try to strategically focus on a limited amount of products any given time because I do so much, so that it's very clear what I'm offering versus, I don't get it sort of a thing. So that's definitely the key here. Now, like I said, these Jumpstart Your Business sessions, I am definitely going to be doing every single week. And I'm going to have the replay of this on the Power Circle, the online circle, I should say, at join.sistersense.com. The series is for the members of the online circle, so you have to go there if you're not a member, and I know a few of you are. I know, Laura, you're already in. You go to join.sistersense.com and you register. It's 12 months that I do a 12-month training program, and I've got 100-plus videos in there. But in addition to the videos, I am doing these, committing myself, because I'm like, oh, my God, there's more to it, and they want to talk to me, and I've got to do this stuff. I've got to do more. So in addition to the videos, we get on these calls. So like on the call today, the first thing I said is you need to create the new post, audio, and video. Go to the website, look there, and then go watch those tutorials on your time. Go watch the hours of material there. But I tell you where to start when we get on the calls together, okay? So that's essentially how these Jumpstart Your Business sessions work. The call for next week, before I open up the line so that you guys can ask me some questions and hopefully let me know what you thought about our session today. Next week, I'm going to be talking about affiliate marketing and what you do to actually get started, because a lot of you, and I got a few questions about affiliate marketing. I just posted, actually, the 60-minute tutorial I did in the summer circle. I did that group sessions. I did 6 of them, and one of the 60-minute sessions was on passive income and affiliate marketing for busy entrepreneurs. So I talked a lot about that stuff. But I'm giving you one thing to do, because folks have said they wanted to do it and they haven't started with the affiliate marketing yet. So next week I'm going to help you with one thing to do to get started with affiliate marketing. And then in addition to that, go watch that really great video that I did to give you even more information as far as affiliate marketing is concerned. Because I don't know about you, but as a solo entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you're not leaving. I want to make sure that I'm not leaving money on the table. So generating that additional passive income is essential to your business and to, not be stressed out. You want to make sure that you're working and you're not worrying about bills. And when you have that passive income coming in, that definitely does help with that. Also, before I forget, when you sign up to join.sistersense.com this weekend, I have the link in the member area. I have put the link to my 90-minute video that I did a 90-minute training about 2 weeks ago on 21 ways to make more sales. And essentially, I looked at different multi-million-dollar companies online. You've got some big companies like, for example, Amazon. One of the case studies I did was on a marketing strategy used by Amazon. And then I looked at successful six-figure entrepreneurs online, put together a list of 21 marketing strategies that they use to make more sales consistently in their business, and told you exactly what they did, gave you the physical examples so you could see them. And that's at 21ways.sistersense.com. But for those who are inside the circle and or sign up to the circle this weekend, you get to get access to that for as long as you want it. But the access code I'm taking down on Sunday. So you want to be able to log into that member area by Sunday so that you can get the code to watch those videos. That video anyway. It's just a good and long one for you. Lots of good info. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to stop for a second, and I don't want to hit *9. I'm almost afraid to hit *5 and have echoes and stuff. So if you do have a question for me about exposure for your business, unmute yourself, please. Say who you are, what you do, what your website is, and ask the question. I believe it's *6. I think. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to unmute folks.
Hi, this is Jennifer Carr. I'm from Michigan. I'm a life coach and an author. My website is queenstiletto.com. And I just wanted to, by the way, I thought you did a really great job. This has opened up a lot for me. I'm in the startup stage. In between the startup and this jump start stage. I've been in business for a couple of months now.
Okay.
And I had a question about the blog, the difference between the blog and writing the amazing article.
Mm-hmm.
What for the startup stage and versus the jump start stage, what would be the difference between writing a blog post and an amazing article?
Okay, so when I talked about the startup stage, I want you to just focus on not so much that great killer article, but just knowing that you can write something and put it on your blog. So if your first post is maybe a description of a service that you offer, or your first post is, we are going to be doing some 15-minute consultations at the local mall this weekend. That's not amazing. It's just kind of informational, but you want to be able to know that you can create an article, you can add categories on your blog, you can link and add photos and comfortably do that for yourself, because the process is not simply just about blogging, but being able to comfortably do it consistently. And a lot of the entrepreneurs and new web clients that I meet, they want that ability, but they don't have that skill set. So that's really the difference between the startup and amazing. You're not really amazing is you focusing on the article itself. Startup, I just want you to focus on having the skill set to write the articles or start maybe recording some audios. You said you're a life coach?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, as a service professional, there's some initial material maybe that you want to share with your potential clients. Maybe you want to do an audio series and have that podcast be on something like iTunes or what is it called? SoundStream. There's another one that people use a lot, but I'm an Apple girl, so I just focus on iTunes. But if you wanted to do something that created a podcast, or you wanted to do a video channel on YouTube, the first step is to realistically start doing it.
Okay.
So that's it in my long-winded way. I'm sorry, I was long-winded.
That's okay. And is it, were you referring to SoundCloud? Or
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to jump in?
Hello? LaShanda,
Hello?
can you hear?
Yes. Mhm.
Yes, hi. This is Paula out of New York again. Well, my business, as I said, I'm in with Avon, which has been around for over 100 years. It's a new business to me. And, you sell door to door. You sell to your friends and your family. I'm also trying to create an online presence.
Yes.
And as a new business, no, I don't have a blog just yet because I don't have that dental floss you was talking about just yet.
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Yes, I'm still working on the dental floss within the next 30 days. Is definitely on my list of things to do. But in the meantime, I have a Facebook page that I dedicate only to Avon. And I just want to know, with a business like mine, and it is indeed a business. I know sometimes people have a hard time looking at Avon in that way, but I have met people in Avon that are making high 5 figures.
Absolutely.
So, some even 6 figures. So how does one differentiate themselves from a mega company, $10 billion in sales like Avon, when you tell people, oh, I know my next door neighbor sells Avon, or the lady down the street or down the hall, it's very hard to differentiate yourself because a lot of people think, oh, I could get it from the lady on my job, or I could get it from my next door neighbor. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know that because it like I'm saying, with just about any profession you choose, competition is high and everybody's doing it to some degree. Now, before I even answer that question, let me say this. I know if you got that floss budget in that article, the one that I just did today about 7 steps for blogging for beginners, I said the first thing is you need a space. You have to have a space. Now, I recommend self-hosting, and you have to pay for that. But I started off on that floss budget too, girl. So I had a free site. You can go to blogger.com, BLOGGER, get yourself a free website. Are you going to have that forever? No, but you need to have something to start with. And if the only thing you can do is afford to get a $5 domain name to put on top of that blogger so that it's your name and not your, say you do like nyavon.blogger.com. Maybe you just purchase nyavon.com and then cover up the free name. Fine. But you have to have a space, okay? That's number one. Number two, how you differentiate yourself really, and I see people do this time and time again. They do this with weight loss brands where they've become a rep for. They become that business. They show you for example, with the weight loss example, they show you how they use the product, how other people have used the product, what works best, what doesn't work best, what works for what skin color. They just dive into the specifics and not just, I'm just doing a general thing. So like, okay, let's say you've got your clientele right now, friends and family. You want to know exactly what your top customers are buying and why. So maybe this person is buying this because they've got certain blotches and they want this particular kind of foundation on their skin. Then you're going to write a blog post about, what to do when you have blotchy skin. And then this is the best product that you should use at Avon, and this is the link you go to buy that product. You want to write to cater to the needs of specific customers because that's how you differentiate yourself from the people who are just saying, oh, hey, take my book and buy that. Okay. And it starts, especially when you've got an existing clientele, it starts with looking at those people and finding out what they like or dislike and focusing on those things first. But then you'll start to find areas that you particularly like. So if you like selling nail products or hair care products or, whatever you particularly are interested in because they sell so much in Avon, you become like the guru of that. And, really kind of master showing people that. Then you can pick, and I love when they pick colors and then they just give you products or makeup all on that one color. You can do that on your blog because then if it's really nice, people will take that and put it on Pinterest and share it because Pinterest is all about photos. But again, it's really about becoming that guru in that particular industry. That's how you stand out as a seller and attract more people to you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, LaShanda.
Hey.
Hey, this is Angela.
I hear the baby.
Yeah, it's one of two. I had twins.
Oh, my goodness. Too cute. Okay.
Okay, my question is, well, my business, number one, is Lady in Balance, and we hold these workshops, and I just published my first post, did the landing page. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. But my question is, how do I, number one, drive more people to that site, bettersleepbook.com, and then we added the comment section. How do I need to increase traffic to that particular site, and you said I need to write like a powerful article, and I was actually thinking about that. I blog. I send out a newsletter once a month. I'm thinking I need to do it more. I think one time you said like it should be weekly, right? Or at least a couple times a week.
I wouldn't say overburden yourself first. I'd say maybe start off with bi-weekly. Because then you don't want to switch up things too fast on your audience. They go, what you doing? You're trying to kill my inbox. You got to do it gradually. But yes, keep going.
Okay. So I guess the main thing is just driving people to that site. And just promoting it, I guess, and marketing it while online. I think that's the key thing that I'm trying to do, or that I need to do.
What you've got to do is look at your book and think to yourself, is there a phrase, is there a chapter, is there a story in this book that this one thing will hit people or really resonate, and start there.
Okay.
If that needs to be you sitting and talking about it in a video, or if you don't want to do video, I do a lot of audio videos, as I call them. I do my audio, then I put a picture on top of it, and I put that up on YouTube.
Okay.
For them to hear your voice, but they have to hear the story.
Right.
To bring them to the space.
Okay.
And I put together the landing page for you, but you've got those key key bullets. You want to turn that bitter into better. Have you gone through these experiences? But you can't just have the general bullets. You got to talk about the specific experiences.
Okay.
That really hit people. One of the authors, the lovely ladies in my circle of rewrites, she wrote My Heart Speaks. And when I read the preface to the book, it's just a couple of pages. I was like, girl, this is the whole, this is a book in of itself. It's just so much stuff. And the stories, you remember so much more than the overall book, because they kind of go, that was my mom, that was my father, whatever. So that's the kind of stuff that people retweet when they go, oh, girl, what did that person do? Or I felt that because it happened to me. Engagement starts there. Now, another thing is you have to rally your team, meaning that you send it out and you let people who have read it, you tell them, you go there and you comment today. Everybody who's read it, you go and comment today. And if they haven't commented, you go, you need to go and comment today. You kind of have to build up momentum and be proactive about getting certain people to start the process, because then other people will join in the equation as well, as far as engaging and having a conversation about it too. I can say more on it, but I would say there. I think what needs to happen is those specific bullet points. You need to look at them and pull out some stories that you feel like are going to connect with people.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It is 8:57, ladies. If there is one other question, I don't mind taking it. As I go to my here. Okay. Okay, let's see. If you want to interrupt me, I will be more than happy to take that last question. But if not,
Just to also let you know, October 2nd, I'm going to do, I usually do it in September, but things got crazy this summer. My Back to Business webinar. It's going to be the Power Circle, bringing them back together, and this webinar is free for everybody to join in. I've got 6 lovely
I'd like
ladies.
to interrupt you.
I'm sorry? I heard somebody say something.
I said I'd like to interrupt you.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Let me just say, the 6 lovely ladies, and including myself, we're going to be speaking about the different things that you can do to get back to business this fall. And so look out for the Back to Business conference. Put it on your calendar, October 2nd. It's 1 day full of webinars. Like I said, it's going to be free because I want everybody else who wants to be there to come out and join us that day. A bunch of webinar training sessions with some of the ladies in my Power Circle. But send me an email, lhenry@sistersense.com, if you want me to specifically send you information about that or the 2014 Power Circle, the live one that I'm doing here in North Carolina. And I will make sure that you are one of the individuals that I directly talk to about that. Okay. Interrupt away.
Great. My name is Ernisa Barnwell. I am the CEO of Barter Hair Braiding College, which is also Barter Enterprises International. It's a subsidiary of that. And I've been in business for 9 years, and I have seen some highs, and I do still have some successes to conquer. But by the way of my website, I wanted to know more about the monetization piece of that. And I do want to know that I want you to know, Ms. Henry, that I did note what you spoke of tonight in regards to the offers, the blogging, and so on and so forth. Because when you're in business for a certain amount of time, especially when you start on that dental floss, budget, so to speak, you are used to doing a lot of things for yourself and by yourself. And life kind of threw me a curve. I went through a 10-year custody battle, so it put me in a position where I was writing more on a paralegal tip than actually writing for my actual business. So the balance there kind of got off a little bit. Just wanted to know from your perspective, as far as blogging goes, what could I get away with doing? Because I wouldn't be able to do a weekly or a monthly, not at this time right now. But what do you think that I could get away with as far as blogging? Because I want to control the content that goes on there. I don't want to pay somebody to do it or have someone else to facilitate that piece for me. I want it to come from the heart and for it to be informational. How often do you think that I could get away with right now without losing my blogging clientele, so to speak, still capturing that audience? And also monetization, is affiliation the only affiliate the only monetization that I could do for my website, or are there other ways? And I know there are other ways, but without it being messy, because I've seen some messy monetization with websites as well. So just wanted to ask those questions.
Okay. It can get tricky sometimes when people kind of go overboard with the monetization. But let's talk about the content piece. It's hard to be minimal with respect to blogging because in order to keep an audience engaged, you want to stay connected with them. But if you're challenged with time, I always recommend that you bulk task. I am always challenged with time. So, for example, if I'm going to do videos and I don't do videos that often, I'll sit down and do a series of videos that weekend, and then I will schedule them out over time. So you can schedule videos on YouTube. You can schedule your blog posts, as I'm sure you know. So I would say if you know it's not going to be realistic for you to consistently do once a week or once a month, you want to sit down and say, okay, well, I'm going to focus on those amazing articles that I can really hone and write these out and then schedule them out over time. So it has that consistent feel without you feeling like you have to put in that work every single week. In the article that I did on Sister Sense about creating your post, I talked about how you schedule out the post. But I would recommend that for you. Don't just write one thing. And I can't tell you just writing one or two would suffice. I would say you want to try and see if you can bulk task a couple and then schedule them out over a time, so at least you can keep the conversation going even when you're not there. Now, with respect to monetization, outside of affiliate marketing, people generally are selling their own products and services. What specifically do you want to sell?
Well, we're online hair braiding college, and we offer natural hair braiding, and hair extension courses. And we also, if you've ever, well, the website is very vast as far as products and services to sell. However, I was speaking of the residual monetization that doesn't, yes, that doesn't necessarily require, so to speak. I don't want it to be messy because I know that sometimes they do it through ads for other companies and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. You know, going onto your website, I really am not a fan of that type of thing. Mm-hmm. As far as, you know, monetization, but I know that there are other ways. So I was just speaking to that. And I do want to also let you know that I contacted your service via the web probably like 2 years ago, and you guys are relentless at continuously emailing. So, and as a result of that, I am on this call tonight. So I just I want to say that it works. You know, it works, and I see that it works, and I know that this call is definitely not only worth my time, but you have a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge. You know, I've come into that understanding because I joined the call tonight, and I was able to be in your presence to hear you speak. So I just want to let you know what's working, you know, for you all as well.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. It goes to what I always say is that you don't know when people are going to buy or try. You just have to keep going. It's kind of like a beast mentality, and just kind of keep going, because everybody's lives are going on. And why I tell you that I don't want you to just do one, or, you know, you got to find a way to be strategic even when you don't have the time, is because not everybody's going to comment, so you don't know who's reading. You don't know if people have looked at you for a year or 2 years or 3 years. But all you care about is that they still know you exist. You want to stay, and even if they don't even click, you just want to be in the radar of them knowing you still do what you do, so when they're ready to buy, you're there. And that's what that consistent blogging and marketing does for you. So you always have an influx of buyers because you always have to consistently build relationships over time. Now, on the subject of monetization, without being messy, one thing I will say is this. A resource page, you can never go wrong, especially in your case, when you are working with students and professionals who are coming to learn from you. Put together a page of resources and recommendations that you feel will value them and supplement the products that you're offering. And, of course, that page should be connected to several affiliate product offerings, but it doesn't have to be a page full of banners. It could be just a page where you share the different business products or offerings and the links and a description. You should try this book because this will help you about XYZ, or you should test out this hair product because this is really helping clients grow their hair 7 inches long, or whatever. And it just so happens that these products are your affiliate partners, but you're not presenting it in the form of these big, bold, flashing, rotating ads. You're giving someone an informational page. Now, people, they like that because I know on my space that's full of a lot of information, they're not looking just to be sold. They're looking for somebody to tell them and really help them find good material. When you have a page like that, for example, and a student or a colleague or somebody comes to you and says, well, you know, I'm trying to find a new book on, you know, how to do the latest ... braid. And you say, okay, well, I want you to go to my resource page, and I do this all the time. I want you to go here, and I want you to check out this book. Click there. And they click on it, and then you get a check in the mail. That's what happens because you've created this space full of resources. I find one of the most effective ways to sell affiliate products is when it's not a sell. It's a recommendation of something that you find is valuable to your audience. So if you want to get into affiliate marketing, I'll talk about it more next week, but one
solid thing to do outside of just throwing up blogs is to, throwing up banners, is to think about affiliate partnerships that you can make with material that will actually benefit your audience and have those on a resource page on your website. Make sense?
Excellent.
I hope.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ladies, it is officially 9:08. I am so happy, among other things. I'm about to go stretch my legs and just kind of relax for a bit. But before I do, again,
I hope you enjoyed the session that I did today on 3 ways to gain exposure for your web business. Now, I told you exactly what you needed to do, right? The big question is how. How are you going to get started with blogging, audio, video? How are you going to write that amazing post? How are you going to figure out what is that product or service that you are going to tunnel vision focus on? How are you going to market it? These are the big questions, the big how questions that I talk about inside the Sister Sense Circle. So in addition to enjoying the audio and taking great notes, I want you to go to join.sistersense.com so you can get access to all my blogging, social media, and sales tutorials. And really the more important component here, so you can get on the weekly calls with me, ask me questions, and really get clear on what needs to happen next. So that how component, I think, is integral. I don't know if you've ever been on a teleclass or a webinar and everybody tells you exactly what you need to do. And you go, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you get off. After that kind of amazing, I tweeted this and I felt like I was going to do that. Buzz was gone. You went, okay, how do I get this done? Right? So that's what I'm talking about. Understanding the how, becoming more productive, seeing progress, and ultimately seeing that profit that you know you want. It's about getting those answers and that clarity inside the circle. So I hope you join us. Join.sistersense.com. My online trainings are $7 a month. It's a 12-month training program. And I've got a wealth of knowledge to share to help you make sense of making money online. So see you inside the circle. Talk to you soon. Bye.